Start today either sitting up or laying down, whichever is the best way for you to connect with yourself and connect with your breath. So if you're choosing to sit up, just finding a nice comfortable position. And if you're choosing to lie down, just let your body sink into the earth. But feeling your breath. You know, our practice is just movements when we don't connect with our breath. So taking a nice slow breath in through your nose, and even slower out through your mouth. And if you're sitting, feeling your sit bones grounding to the earth. If you're laying down, allowing your body to melt into the earth. I'm going to read a little from Mark Nepo this morning, and it's about love is like water. And when we talk about this kind of love, it's really universal love, that love for yourself, that love for the person you pass when you're walking, that love for the connection that we feel with everyone in the class. So he writes, only love with no thought of return can soften the point of suffering. Water in its clear softness fills whatever hole it finds. It's not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say this gully is too deep or that field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touch thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. True, the faces of shores and the arms of cliffs are worn to bone, but this is beyond the water's doing. This is the progress of life, of which water is but one element. Many things break instead of transform because they resist, as we all resist. The quiet miracle of love is that without interference, it, like water, accepts whatever is tossed or dropped or placed into it, embracing it completely. Beneath the many choices we have to make, love, like water, flows back into the world through us. It is the one great secret available to all. Yet somewhere the misperception has been enshrined that to withhold love will stop hurt. In truth, it's the other way around. As water soaks scars, love soothes our wounds. If open to, love will accept the angrily thrown stone, and our small tears will lose some of their burn in the ocean of tears, and the arrow released to the bottom of the river will lose its point. So once again, a nice breath in and out. And if you're sitting, slowly making your way to your mat or to the floor, once you're there, let's all together take a nice breath in as you shrug your shoulders up. And a breath out as you release them down. So once again, a breath in as you shrug. And a breath out as you release back and down. And then straightening out your legs and pressing your feet, your heels into the mat. I know we've done this many times, but imagining that you're feeling your legs for the first time. Noticing as you push the heels into the mat and flex the toes back towards your forehead, you can probably feel your glutes, your thighs, your calves. And then a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, allow those legs to relax. And then relaxing the arms next to the body, the arms are straight. Begin pushing the heels into the mat, flexing the toes back towards your forehead. And as you breathe in, the straight arms reach up and back and stop before they reach the floor. And maybe 1 or 2 breaths here, noticing the side body, the back body, the palms, maybe from the heels to the fingers. And on your next exhale, the arms come back down by your side. So once more, at your own pace, allowing the breath, the in-breath, to guide the movement, and allowing the exhale to be an exertion of stretching. And then slowly coming back to stillness. Slowly bending one knee and then the other as you place your feet flat on the mat. Relaxing your arms wherever they land. And a nice breath in and a breath out as the knees drop to the right. And a breath in as you come back to center. And a breath out. So again, just a little bit of back and forth. Allowing the breath and the body to be your guide. Letting go of any thoughts in the mind of how it should be, how your body should be today. Perhaps 1 second, 1 moment at a time is dropping into the feeling of the breath, the feeling of the stretch. And then slowly, as you finish, allowing the thighs to drop in towards the body, and either holding on to the shins or the backs of your legs. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, bring a little tug by using the arms and feeling the stretch a little deeper. And breathing in and relaxing the arms. And breathing out a nice little tug. if your hands are on your shins and you feel up to it today, perhaps you move the arms to such an extent that the upper body lifts. Maybe the chest and the head come off. But if you're enjoying staying on the floor and just breathing and stretching, feel free to do that as well. Slowly the head and neck and shoulders return to the mat as you drop your feet and feel the feet land on the earth. And then walking the fingertips towards the heels, and perhaps the heels towards the fingertips. Very mindfully engage your core, engage your glutes, really feel those glutes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Push into the hands and the shoulders and the feet as you lift the hips. Just enjoying a bit of a stretch in the spine. If you feel comfortable staying here for a breath or two, please do. If you need to come down, please do. Pushing into the feet, engaging the glutes, engaging the core, waking up the body. And then slowly, slowly, the hips return to the earth. As you roll to one side and slowly come up to a standing position for a tapping. You know, I forgot to mention, I guess all the classes are supposed to be an hour, but I've been doing my usual hour and 15 minutes. So, if you're okay with that, stay on, and if you made other plans, I won't have hurt feelings. I didn't even know that I was supposed to be doing an hour. So, coming back into our bodies, allow your feet to roll to the inside. And close your eyes and see what you feel. Can you feel your adductors engaged, maybe your glutes? And then roll the feet a little bit to the outside and see what you feel. And as you come back to center, very slowly and mindfully, bring the weight into the heels. So I don't know if it's just my body, but I find when I do that, my core engages and my head lifts a little bit more. And then slowly grounding the toes, grounding the feet as centered as you possibly can now that you're aware of the inside and the outside of the feet. And begin tapping with the right fist on the left chest. And breathe out. You're all on mute so you can make noises. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and slow it down. And feel that vibration deep in the chest. So you're tapping on your stomach meridian and your lung meridian. And then moving to that left shoulder. Slowly coming down the inside of that left arm, coming all the way down top of the hand, fingers, thumb. And slowing it down as you come up the top of the arm. Noticing there's tightness often just below the elbow. Being on the phone and the computer. As you slowly move up to the left shoulder. And then lifting the arm and tapping the armpit. Heart meridian, heart meridian, heart meridian. And down that left side. And when you're ready, it's a left fist on the right chest. Slowing it down. Feeling the vibration in the body. And moving to the right shoulder. And coming down the inside of the right arm. Come all the way down, clap your hands. And the top of your hand and your fingers and your thumb. And slowly coming up the top of the arm. All the way to the shoulder. And the armpit. And down that right side. And as you tap on your organs, relax those arms. And breathe out. Stomach, liver, perhaps intestines, colon, all that good stuff. And together, a nice few breaths out. And then moving to the kidneys behind, reminding that our kidneys hold fear. So breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And then coming down the backs of the legs, coming all the way down. And eventually making it to your feet. But taking your time. And when you're ready, coming up the front of the legs. And the hips. And the glutes. And down the outside of the legs. Stomach, 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 stomach. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And moving to the inside of the legs. Slowly coming up. And tapping 2 inches below your belly button. Allowing roots to grow from the feet. Feel your feet. Feel your second chakra. Feel your feet. And slowly stop. And if you can, for the next breath, trying not to move. Sometimes we just automatically shrug our shoulders or move our neck. And notice your body. like perhaps bringing a few movements into the neck, maybe making a figure 8. And again, breathing out so much tension in our necks. And then coming to stillness. Feeling your feet on the mat. Lifting the top of your head. And noticing how the core engages. Slowly the shoulders come up to your ears and back and down. And checking in with your body. I'm going to do a little bit for necks and shoulders and core and hips today. So, Lou, if you're on the call, this is for you today. We're going to do a little bit different stretch for our neck. Bring your arms up, not quite out to the side and not quite shoulder height. So you kind of look like the letter A. And now see if you can keep those arms steady but somewhat relaxed. And now imagine that you're lifting the right ear to the ceiling. So forget about left ear to the left shoulder. Just imagine that right ear is lifting. And it's lifting, and the right ear is lifting. And maybe you can feel the stretch all the way down into the arm. And slowly, the chin returns to center. And now lift that left ear. Oi, oi, oi. Lift the left ear up towards the ceiling. Lift that left ear. Breathe into whatever sensation. And then slowly the chin returns to center and the arms return to your side. One breath here as you breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out, drop the chin, round the back, maybe let the fingertips slide down the legs as you come into a forward bend. So your hands can be on the mat, they can be on your knees, you can be grabbing your elbows. But I'd like you to bring a generous bend to your knees so the belly gets some support and the lower back relaxes. And now release any tension in the neck. Maybe you even give a tiny little shake to the head. I like to mess up my hair sometimes, just as a reminder to my head and neck to relax. And then bringing even more of a bend to your knees as you push into your feet and slowly come up to standing. Bringing the hands and the arms about 6 inches away from the body. Spread the fingers wide. Push the feet into the mat and lift the top of the head. Feel the space from the ribs to the hips expand as we do our little side stretch. Turning the right palm out and the right hand floats up. So keeping it out of the shoulder, see if you can reach with the right fingers up and reach with the left fingers down. And ground that right foot and reach and breathe. Perhaps feeling some space in the front of the right hip or the right ribs. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly the palm turns down. Relaxing the arms as you shrug your shoulders up and back and down. And then back and up and down. And once more, up and back and down. And bringing the hands away from the body about 6 inches, spreading the fingers, reaching down with the fingers, down with the feet, up with the top of the head. Feeling that space increase between the ribs and the hips as you turn that left hand out. The left arm reaches up and really become aware of the shoulder. It's not about the shoulder. Let the shoulder relax as the left fingers reach up and the right reach down. And breathe into any space you've created in the front of the hip or the ribs. Feeling that left foot grounding to the earth, feeling those left fingers reaching up. And slowly the palm turns out and down. A breath in, a breath out. Allow the arms to float up in front of you, reaching up and back and down. And again, up and back and down. Slowing it down, continuing at your own pace. Just noticing any tension in the shoulder joints. And then pausing and going back and up and down and back and up and down and back and up and down and slowing it down. Last one. And then begin jiggling the body and breathing out. I like to imagine as I do this, the stress is just leaving my shoulders, leaving my arms, going down, down, down. Breathe out. Again, breathing out. And slowly stop. Rolling one shoulder blade back and then the other. Keeping your arms as straight as you can. Imagine pushing your shoulder blades together. And now, just so you're not popping your ribs out, maybe get the feeling that you're about to dive into a swimming pool. So there's a little bit of a leaning forward so you don't pop those ribs up. And you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. This is the one when we do it in class, I try to actually do it until I sweat a little. It's a little chillier in here than it usually is in the classroom. But I can feel my body getting warmer. If you can press for a breath of 2 more, please do. And then slowly release the arms. And give a little shake. And then bring the arms out to the side, palms facing up, elbows bent. And now I'd like you to focus on your thumb and your pinky finger. Imagine that your thumb is turning to the ground and your pinky finger is reaching up. So this is a very subtle but big twist in the shoulders. One more breath. And then slowly relax the arms. And take a nice breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out, the chin drops, the spine rounds, the hands slide down the legs as you come into a forward bend. So doing whatever feels good. You can move the hands from side to side. You can have your elbows on your knees. Taking a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, letting go, letting go, letting go. A generous bend to the knees, really almost like you're sitting on a chair as you push into the feet and slowly come to standing. Placing the right hand in the center of the back, or as close to it as you possibly can. And now close your eyes and imagine your your elbows reaching for the sky. And feel that stretch down into the body. And if you care to place the left hand on the elbow, you can. You might just have it there to support it, or you might give a little bit of a tug to the left, but it's not necessary. You're listening to what your body wants today, and hopefully every day. And then slowly, the arms come back down by your side. Left hand comes to the center of the back, lifting that left elbow up, 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 up. Right hand comes to the left elbow. Maybe you give a tug, maybe not. hands on your hips. And imagining that your hands have control of keeping those hips as level as you possibly can. So as you come up onto the ball of that right foot, make sure that right hip doesn't move. And now bring a little bit of a bend to the left knee. And if you feel comfortable, maybe closing your eyes and seeing if you can really ground into the earth. And if you feel like you want to work harder, you can bend that left knee a little more. Come up onto the ball of that right foot a little more. So feel both feet pushing into the earth and feel both legs really working. Breath in, breath out. And now open your eyes so you know that you're gazing at the horizon. Remember, those hands are in charge of not allowing your hips to move. Staying up on the ball of that right foot, turn your right knee inward as much as you can. And now back to center. And now turning that right knee out without that right hip moving back. Keeping the hips where they are so all the movement is in the hip joint. Maybe your legs are really cooking now. Coming back to center. Dropping that right heel and maybe giving your legs a little bit of a shake and your buttocks a little shake. As we move to the other side. So the hands are on the hips. Hands, you're in charge of those beautiful hips. Coming up onto the ball of the left foot. The right knee bends. Make sure the hips stayed level. There's no tilting of that left hip up. Pressing down with both feet. If you need to work harder, come up on the ball of the foot more. Bend the right knee more. But find a place where you know you're strengthening your legs, but you're feeling stable and grounded. And then if your eyes are closed, opening your eyes so you know that your head is not tilting down. Without moving anything but the leg, the left knee turns in a bit. And feel it in that left hip joint. And then back to center. And turning out without moving that left hip. And then slowly back to center. Giving the legs a little shake and coming down to a seated position with your legs straight out in front of you. And let's just bounce our legs. Maybe closing your eyes and noticing what part of your legs is hitting the earth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and stop. So, while you're sitting up and you can see me, I'm going to demonstrate something that we're going to do in a minute. So, it's like a bicycle, but it's a controlled bicycle move. So when we're on our back, and we're going to be holding on to like our left knee as you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, the left knee straightens and you grab onto the right. I'm going to move that chair. So breath in, breath out, and you switch. And now, after you do it a few times, you have the option, if you want to work your core a little, when you bring that leg straight, you can hover it above the ground, and you'll see you work a little harder. So when you're ready, come on down onto your back. And let's just start with both knees bent for a minute. And then holding on to the backs of your thighs or your shins as you drop your thighs into your belly. Maybe a little rolling back and forth. Maybe shimmying up and down. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then continuing to hold on to the right shin as the left leg straightens. So it's a breath in as you squeeze that right thigh in. And as you exhale, the right leg straightens and the left leg comes in. As you exhale, the right leg comes in and the left straightens. The right leg straightens, left bends. Breath in, breath out as the right comes in and the left straightens. And now that you kind of have the flow down, you have the option. You can either drop that straight leg on the mat or you can hover it. So just go at your own pace. It's a breath in as the knee bends and squeezes. And then a breath out as you switch and the other comes in. Breath in as you squeeze. Breath out as you straighten. So maybe about 3 more at your own pace. And I'd like you to stop when you're holding on to your right shin and your left leg is straight. And your left leg is straight on the mat. And now, I'd like you to have, if you can, your left hand on the leg and the right hand on top, so it keeps that right thigh kind of centered over the belly and not towards the shoulder. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, bring a little tension into the arms and feel a nice stretch in that right hip. Release the hands and drop that right foot onto the mat. So we're laying on our backs. our left leg is straight, our left heel is reaching away, our right foot is pressing into the earth as we place both hands behind our neck, not our head, our neck. And I like to stack one hand on top of the other. Take a nice breath in as you tuck the chin and a breath out as the head, neck, and shoulders come off the mat. A nice breath in and out, and when you're ready, you come back down. So I explained, I think last week, the reason why I like doing it this way is there's no way you can harm your lower back because you're really staying stable by having that left leg straight. So when you're ready, just start creating your own little work for your core. Breath in as you tuck your chin. Breath out as the head, neck, and shoulders comes up. And whenever you've had enough, you stop. And if you want to keep going for a few more breaths, please do. See if when you come up, you can actually feel what happens is you can feel your ribs coming down as the back comes up. And there's no tension in the neck and shoulders. The neck and shoulders are just coming along for the ride. So it's a breath in as you tuck the chin, a breath out as you come up. And back down. So last one. And now flex the left toes back towards your forehead. Push your palms and your right foot into the mat. Really engage your glutes and your core and see if you can imagine that your glutes and your core are floating that left leg up. It's not you. It's your core, it's your glutes. And now press the heel towards the ceiling. And now press the toe towards the ceiling. And the heel towards the ceiling. And the toe towards the ceiling. And then you choose either with the toes towards the forehead or the foot pointed towards the ceiling. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, slowly lower that leg to the mat. And when it lands, maybe give it a little shake. And allow that left knee to bend and allow both thighs to come in towards the body. And this time, grabbing the backs of your thighs and spreading the thighs kind of wide and give a little tug with the arms and feel that stretch. The right leg straightens on the mat as you place both hands on the left shin. And if you can, the right hand is on the bottom and the left is on the top. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, a nice tug with the arms. And And then release the hands and drop that left foot on the mat. Hands are behind the neck. I like to lift the elbows a little bit, not exactly a big V, but a little bit of a V. It also protects the neck. You engage the core. Lengthen that right leg away and press that right heel into the mat as you breathe in and tuck your chin and breathe out and come up. And inhale and relax. And again, breath in, tuck your chin, breathe out and come up. So going at your own pace, remembering to do the exertion on the exhale. See if you can notice as you come up that the ribs are going down. The last one. Straightening that right leg away, away, away on the mat. Maybe feeling an opening in the right hip as you flex the toes back towards your forehead. Engage your core. Press in with the palms as the right leg floats right up. Almost like you had nothing to do with it. And then push the heel into the ceiling, and then the toe, and the heel, and the toe. And now you choose either toes flexed or pointed as you inhale and exhale and slowly lower. That right leg down. Giving that right leg a little shake. And then slowly the right knee bends so both feet are on the mat. And begin lifting and dropping your hips. So we're only going to do it, for maybe 10 seconds to relax the lower back. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And breathe and notice. So we're going to do a hip stretch that we do often. We're just going to add a little bit to it. So it's the right ankle on the left knee. And now you decide if you want to drop that left thigh in towards your body and grab onto the thigh, you can. If you'd rather keep that left foot on the mat, that's okay. And now I'd like you to place your right hand on your right knee and just tiny bit, but mostly using your muscles. Allow that right knee to go away from the body. 3, 2, 1, and now place your hand behind that right knee and bring it in towards your left shoulder. And feel that stretch in the right glute. both hands on the thigh. Straighten that left leg up towards the ceiling. And then bend. So focus on your hamstrings and your left leg here. So as you straighten, imagine you're straightening them. When you bend, they're relaxing. One more, straighten. And bend. The left foot drops to the mat. The right foot drops to the mat. The hands relax on the floor as you drop the knees to the right. And just relax for 2 breaths here. And then back to center. And the knees drop to the left. And back to center. And now it's the left ankle on the right knee. If you care to thread the needle and grab that right thigh, please do. And now allow the left hand to go to the left knee. As the left knee pushes away from the body, 3, 2, 1, and then the hand comes behind the knee, and imagine you're bringing that left knee towards your right shoulder. 2, 3, 1, release. Hands around that right thigh as you straighten that right leg, stretch your hamstring, bend that right leg, straighten that right leg, bend that right leg. Last one, straighten. Bend. Release the hands. Drop the right foot. Drop the left foot. And then if you care to bring your legs into butterfly with the soles of the feet touching and the knees dropping out to the side. And if you care to, maybe placing a hand on your belly or your heart. Maybe you can physically feel the breath come into the chest, come into the belly. Now, press the feet into one another just a little bit for 3, 2, 1, and then relax. And then slowly the knees come together as you roll to one side and come up to a seated position. So bringing the soles of the feet together again, but this time they're as far away from the body as you feel comfortable, and they can still kind of reach one another. Straighten your spine. And now imagine in your mind's eye that your chin is level to the earth. Maybe you open your eyes and look at the horizon so you know. And then begin rocking side to side and feeling the sits bones and breathing out. And then coming to stillness, engage the core a little and know how that, notice just by doing that, it lifts the top of the head. Relax the hands, drop the chin, round the back, and coming forward just enough to feel a good stretch in the spine. If you want to move the feet at all, you can. Just relaxing, breathing. And using the hands to slowly come back up. So if you want to grab a jacket or socks, we're not quite done. I want to do a little head tapping, but move to wherever you're going to have your Shavasana. So feel free to go to the wall, or go to the sofa, or go to wherever your spot is. And then once you're there, sitting straight, relaxing the shoulders down, and slowly bring your fingertips to the top of the head. And breathing out as much as you can. Just imagining you're releasing toxins, thoughts. And then slowly moving the fingertips to behind the ears, feeling that nice plate. And around to the back of the head, and the base of the skull. Really noticing any tension in that occipital ridge. Tapping with love, tapping with love. Love like water, just rushing in. Loving yourself with each tap. Softening the tap as you come to your temples. In your forehead. In your eyebrows. And maybe you notice that spot in between the eyebrows, it's kind of scrunched up. So as you lovingly tap, allowing it to relax. And then coming around under the eyes, feeling the bones of the cheeks. And the fleshy parts of the cheeks. And the chin. And the jaw, and maybe even the teeth and the gums. Relaxing the arms. And just noticing. Noticing your face. Noticing your mind. And when you're ready, slowly moving in to your restorative posture, either laying flat on the floor with a blanket, or legs on a chair. The blanket really helps to relax the body. There's something about the weight. And once you're on the ground, taking a nice slow breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, almost as though the exhale is allowing you to ground down even more. Allow the eyes to relax back into the eyes. Allow the brow to soften and the tongue to come away from the roof of the mouth. Allow the belly to soften. And now starting with 5, I'd like you to count backwards each exhale. So it's a breath in, and as you breathe out on 5, just letting go. And each time imagining that you're peeling away another layer and allowing the body to relax even more. Perhaps noticing how the breath has allowed your body to spread like water. As we rest in the silence for a few minutes, I encourage you to rest in a place of love and compassion. safety of your own home. Today, you decide. I mean, you can begin little movements, or you can stay exactly where you are. You didn't have that long of a restorative. If you've decided little movements and you've eventually rolled to one side, you can even stay there. And some of you have decided to come up to seated. So in closing, I'd really encourage us, me too, because I practice right along with you, to think of that image of the water and love. And maybe, we wash our hands how many times during the day? Maybe as we wash our hands today, just thinking of love along with the water washing over our hands. Because I've said it many times, but the more we learn to love and care for ourselves, the more that love emanates out to those around you. So namaste. Love yourself today, please.